young Black women. I'm super proud of Issa Rae for what she's doing as far as film and television.
Exactly, her personal accomplishments.
Right, that's huge. But I thought that was interesting that, wow, the one show, because she's done several things.
Yeah.
But the one that made it to
top
mainstream TV
is Insecure.
Is the one talking about a Black woman being insecure and not being able to really love herself and, find a meaningful relationship. So I was like, here we go.
Right, another one.
Yeah. View of a Black woman. But, and I know this one's going to sound probably bad, and I'm going to say it, though.
Uh-oh.
But the church.
Okay.
Is another one that I feel like is contributing in some ways to this whole idea that people should be for self.
Ooh.
And we should be about our own personal gain and money and getting stuff.
Oh, wow.
If you listen to a lot of the messages nowadays, you'll hear this common thread of, well, what God has for you is for you. And everybody's going to come against you. And they can't have what you have.
And you got to leave people in the past.
And you got to leave them where they at, and they can't come with you.
It's like, I
get it.
I see where you're coming from.
But it kind of, it's a subtle message.
Exactly. About self.
I don't need anybody. I just need me and God. And so what is that? How does that translate when you start talking about love? Because love you need somebody else for love.
Yeah, I was about to say, and that's the thing. It's like you got to put that. You know what? I'm gonna say it like this.
So all my church people, don't be sending us no hate mail and hate comments, but it's just an observation.
No, I think it's good because we do need to talk about it. We need to address that. A lot of churches do promote self-care, self-love, and I think that's important.
Yeah.
But there also needs to be a balance.
Absolutely.
Because you do need to talk about the family.
Right.
For one.
Oh my God,
the family was the most important thing in the church. That's what helped the church survive and strive.
Yes.
And a lot of the fact that we don't have family in the church is what's hurting the church.
Right.
You have a lot of people who are about themselves, who are trying to encourage other people to do things for themselves. And this is a big world full of other people.
Yeah.
And you need other people to get where you're trying to go. So. And
then even more if you drill it down even more than what you just said. So we're human.
Right.
And as humans, our basic need is connection and togetherness. So we're naturally drawn to being with other humans.
Yeah.
Much like apes, dogs, other animals have, behaviors, which, most of them live in groups and packs and
exactly. They do
have communities. Right. And we're one of those animals that need connection and need a family and to raise and care for others.
Right.
So
we're not animals, Ross. I get what you're referencing. I don't want people thinking like, oh, we're a dog too. No,
we're not dogs.
We're not dogs.
But we're part of the animal kingdom. Look it up.
We got
it. Google it.
Somebody gonna come over here like, listen, no, you're not.
We're out of the food chain.
I don't want you to think like we're just
part of the animal kingdom.
But I get what you're saying because you thrive better in groups.
In communities.
Yeah, because you do better together.
How can that message of you doing it on your own and God is gonna bless you and not nobody else?
Yeah.
How is that?
Not nobody else. He's gonna bless you only.
Right.
There's 7 billion people here, but you gonna get the blessing.
Only you. But how is that message going to help us propel into loving one another and really establishing that community? That particularly in the Black community, because I can't speak for any other community because I don't know about any other community, but that much about other communities. But particularly for our community, how is that message going to help us grow?
Absolutely, I get it,
and support one another.
I think that's one of those topics that a lot of people should chime in on because it's one of those things that we need to bring back the topic of love. What is love? How do you love?
Right?
How do you involve other people? In love.
What's interesting too is that people don't realize that love is actually a learned behavior. You learn how to love people from your experience growing up.
And you know what? That ties back to loyalty. You gotta be loyal enough to learn how to love.
Absolutely.
Because you won't understand how to love unless you go through it long enough. to find out what it is.
Oh my gosh. You better say it.
Come on, somebody.
In the name.
Well, let me change the subject for a second because you know what? We talked about the love part of it, but then what happens when you have the money? What happens when you're rich? Okay, you got all the money and now you have all the power, everything that you thought that you needed to be successful and to have what you wanted to live life. Okay, now you're R. Kelly. So I have all the money, I have all the fame, I've got everything that I wanted, but now, boom, I might have too much. I might have more than what I could handle because now I'm going through scandal. I don't want to say it too much, but I'm going to talk about it because you know what? That's a part of what's important. You have these people who have their families involved with this guy. And now that it's become such a controversial situation where, you know, oh, I would have never put my daughter in that situation. Or would you? Because if he was paying you $1 million to have your daughter.
Right.
And you didn't have $1.
Ooh.
Okay, so
that's when money
wins. Do you question love or do you question how much money can I get from love?
Ooh.
So that's what I'm saying. How much, you know, because you can have too much money.
You can.
And have too much power and then not know how to deal with it. And you can have all the love from people and not know how to handle it. So there is definitely a maturity when it comes down to dealing with both. And like I say, and I go back to the balance. You got to have some balance between them both because if you don't know how to handle money or you don't know how to handle love, you will mess up one of the two. And one of those are going to get off balance. And when the scale gets off balance, one outweighs the other. Something kind of like goes bad. Something goes wrong.
Absolutely.
So now you got too much money and now you got too many problems.
You know what's interesting about R. Kelly? There's a part of me that feels bad for him.
Absolutely.
There's a part of me that feels like if he had been given what he needed as a child, if he was loved. Remember we were talking about them unloved people in the world?
Come on, somebody.
Check out the second episode, Unloved People. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We talked about self-love in the second episode.
Yeah, well, it goes back to it.
But he represents those people who were not loved growing up and didn't experience and don't know what it is. So when you don't know what it is, when you don't know how to give or receive love, you are, and then you add money into it. Yeah,
it's just going to be a big mix of
bags. It's a train wreck.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he is a train wreck, and you would hope that at some point in his life he would get it, but I don't even think he gets it. I don't even think he understands the level of the impact that he's had on these young women. And it is really sad that these families, their parents have offered them up for money. Right. And have kept quiet. The people around him have kept quiet for money. Right. Even though some of them now are exposing him. I just heard recently about his crisis manager was asked about if you would let your daughter go over there.
He said, I wouldn't let mine.
Nope.
That's the thing.
That was hilarious. It's unfortunate for the crisis manager because you're supposed to be handling the crisis. Right.
You're supposed to have his back. That goes back to loyalty. Right. You don't love him.
Well, that's a job.
Hey, that's
a
job. So
you asked me a personal question. No, I'm not letting my child go over there.
So would you leave him alone for 2 seconds?
Yeah.
Would I be with him? No.
Right. Exactly. But it really is unfortunate that
it is.
Money does win in these type of situations. Money is power. And people are willing to do so many things, including, disrespecting themselves, disrespecting their loved ones, putting their loved ones in harm's way. Right. All of those things just to earn $1.
Yeah. And I really can't fault just R. Kelly. I mean, like I said, that might be personal issues that he's dealing with. And the way people deal with things are, totally on their own. Right. We're all individuals. And so I think, if he, like you said, was loved or gets that opportunity to be loved genuinely, then, because I think he did go through a phase at a time where he was trying to get his life together and he did try to do better. And I think you get caught back up into the life and, it's a whole new world. I mean, like literally, you got Instagram girls doing all kinds of new stuff. And so it's a whole new world that he got exposed to in this generation. So he's like, oh my God, take it up a notch. So, oh, y'all love my music. Oh, they tried to show him fake love, whatever it was. And then he was like, well, let me show you something. Come into my closet. Let me show you about my closet. How about you came out that closet?
Come into my closet.
Go ahead and get that man.
Okay, let me just clarify. We are not laughing at the situation.
We're not.
It's very sad what happens to those young women, but that's just our way of making the light of it. But
yeah, we got to pray for these kind of people because I mean, literally, that's one of the things that we are trying to figure out is how do you balance that thing, because you can have all the money and not have the love,
right?
Or you can have all the love and not have the money, or you can have both. Then how do you balance both? How do you get them to even out so that you won't go into a scandalous situation?
I think that in some ways it is easier to balance. I'm not going to say that because I've never been on the opposite side of that. I was going to say easier to balance it when you've never had money.
Yeah.
And then you gradually go into money. Then you're like, oh, okay, this is, you just add gradually money. You add it gradually into your life. And then you can probably manage it better. But when you start off with a lot of it, then I can't.
I think it's like this. You first find love, find happiness, find that genuine partner or even that genuine situation, whether it's your children or your family. It could be your mother and you, whoever. But you just find that genuine situation. And then if the money comes and when the money comes, it won't have that much power over you.
Absolutely.
You'll have enough control to say, this is what we need to survive off of, and we'll be able to enjoy more things together. Right. This is what's more important.
I think you said it. When you use money as a tool and not make it a part of who you are.
Right.
And I think that's the thing. And I know particularly for our parents' generation, a lot of them made like their status or their titles become who they were.
Absolutely. I see that. Yeah.
So unfortunately, there was never a distinction made to say, you know what, your job is just your job. It's how you afford your lifestyle. It's how you afford to feed your children.
But it's not who I am.
But it's not who you are.
Right.
And I think in some ways people are starting to get that now.
Yeah.
But I think if you really take a step back and separate the money from who you are and really find out who you are and what your needs are and what your likes and, what you want for your life as far as love.
Yeah.
Then you can begin to reconcile how you handle money.
Yeah, I get that.
In your relationship.
That's real.
I'm smart, but not that smart.
I get it, though. That's good.
Accentuate your life. It's something that you use. It adds value.
It's just a valuable
tool. You can take trips. You can do nice things.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make who you are or who your family is. And I think that's how I really try to live my life.
Right.
We live comfortably, but I really don't want it to be the focus of who I am.
Right.
I want Rosalind to shine through and my family to shine through and us to value the time we have together because, time is not infinite.
Right.
Well, not for humans, at least. But I want us to really be able to value one another so that we can appreciate and feel that love, because love can carry you through the rest of your life, especially when you lose your loved ones.
Yeah,
you'll still have that love that you shared with them.
That's good. I like it.
All right, guys, time for our question of the week.
That was so short. Okay, guys, so if you could be a superhero and you can create any name that you want, what would your superhero name be? I said, or what I have been given, the name is Super Creep.
Super Creep.
So I don't know why I got the name Super Creep, but you'll have to see that later on. You'll find that out on one of the next episodes, but you'll see soon. Roz, what would your superhero name be?
My superhero name would be... What would be my superhero name? I would be...
It's got to be something cool. It can't be no more super something.
Okay.
So I already got super creep. I didn't even pick that name. I just got regular creep was not enough for me. I had to be super creep.
I'm drawing a blank. I'm gonna let you go first.
Well, mine's a super creep.